Next, I want to talk a little bit about an important framework that I found really helpful when I'm analyzing a business to try and understand, its place in the market, and that's Porter's five forces. So there, as the name suggests, there are five different forces. You have the bargaining power of suppliers, you have the threat of new entrants, the bargaining power of buyers, the threat of substitute products, and rivalry amongst competitors. So starting off, the bargaining power of suppliers basically looks at, as the name suggests, how much bargaining power the suppliers have. So if you think of a company like Walmart, for example, the suppliers don't have a lot of bargaining power because Walmart is a very large and powerful business. So it's not like the suppliers can kind of tell them what to do and they basically have all the power in that interaction. So this is a great way to try and understand, like, is this company have a really strong place in the market, or can they be really influenced by their suppliers? Then there's the bargaining power of their buyers. So again, taking the example of Walmart, buyers don't really have a lot of bargaining power. They're very dispersed. It's a lot of individual people. So it's not like they can dictate, the interaction. On the other hand, if you have something like a small business that maybe has only like 3 or 4 large customers, then you get into a situation where these buyers have a lot of bargaining power, and that can lead to a lot of issues. For example, if I have one customer that makes up 30% of my revenue, and that customer obviously has a lot of power, and they can basically say, give me a better price or I'll leave. So this can definitely be, a large risk for the business. Then there's the threat of substitute products. This really ties into competitive advantage. So are there other companies or other products that could very easily replace the product or service that this current company is offering? And this is a really important thing to think about, as you think about disruption. Could there be a new company that comes in that comes out with a better product? Or are there other products that can very easily take away market share? Then for threat of new entrants, this is again tied to a competitive advantage. Are there barriers to entry? So could another company just open up shop tomorrow and very easily compete with me? So if you think about things like physical infrastructure, like building an oil pipeline or building, a port or various kinds of real estate, obviously this requires a lot of capital. So that would be an example of barriers to entry. There's also government regulation could be another barrier to entry. So it's important to kind of think about what is preventing another business from basically starting up and competing with me. And then lastly, kind of in the center there, you have rivalry amongst competitors. Does this company operate in an industry that's very competitive? Are there thousands of businesses in this industry that are all kind of fighting and scrapping for, market share? Or are they, a company that operates in not a competitive industry? So for example, you can think of monopolies like, utilities, for example. So whatever your local utility provider is, they probably have little or no competition, largely because they have signed a government contract. So Porter's five forces really just gives you a good place to start, just to understand, like, is this a really good business? Is it a strong business? And, what are the kind of risks involved with it?